Hi guys, this is Ashley back with another video. Before we get into the video, like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you turn on post notifications. So this reading is going to be on Nicki Minaj and just what's going on with her and what the future holds for her. Before we get into the reading, like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you turn on post notifications. So let's start off with Nicki Minaj's current energy. What is Nicki Minaj's current energy? How does she currently feel right now? Nicki Minaj. What is her current energy like? So, right off the gate, the Hangman is here. This talks about stalemate, okay? This talks about not being able to move forward, stagnation. And we also have the Temperance card here. That talks about imbalance, okay? Things not going her way. We have the 10 of Cups here. This talks about family, so she is focused on her family. The Sun card here talks about being overly optimistic. And then we also have the 7 of Cups in reverse. That talks about illusions, wishful thinking, okay? Living in la la land. So the energy I'm picking up on is that Nicki's kind of putting on a facade. She's not completely happy, but she's living like in la la land, where she kind of thinks that everything is going to kind of work itself out without her kind of putting the work in. So off the gate, you know, her mental is not all the way there, but she thinks that eventually things will work out for her in the end. The Knight of Pentacles is here in reverse. That talks about being obsessed with wealth, finances. So she is worried about her finances, okay? She's very much worried about, you know, work. You know, she's putting on, you know, the facade that she doesn't care if she goes to this award show. She doesn't care if she goes to this event, but she knows that, you know, she's losing out on money, okay? So she's just trying to put on a brave face for the fans so that the fans don't worry, okay? So let's see. What's the energy between Nicki Minaj and Kenny? Nicki Minaj and her husband, Kenny. What is the energy between Nicki Minaj and her husband, Kenny? Nicki Minaj and her husband, Kenny. What is the energy between them two? So we have the Empress card. This talks about when somebody has a codependency on someone. Nicki's very codependent on Kenny. Emotionally, she wants him there. The Lovers card is here in reverse. That talks about disharmony, not being on the same page. And then we also have the 2 of Cups in reverse. That talks about disharmony. We have the King of Swords here in reverse. That talks about a misuse of power. So with that being said, the energy I'm picking up on is that Kenny is not being completely honest with Nicki. They are having disagreements. They're not agreeing on everything. They're not on the same page. And she does have resentment towards him. The 5 of Swords, she knows that he is kind of hurting her career, but she's too embarrassed to admit that. She doesn't want people to tell her, you know, I told you so. I told you it wasn't going to work out. She doesn't want to hear that, okay? So it does look like they are not in the best place. That could be the reason why she be lashing out on social media. So let's just send, you know, Nicki some positive vibrations, because it looks like emotionally she may be going through it. Okay, so let's see. How does Saul XO, The Weeknd, and Doja Cat's manager, one of her managers, she has about like 3, but Saul from XO, how does he feel about Nicki Minaj? Saul XO, The Weeknd, and Doja Cat's manager. Saul XO. Saul XO. How does he feel about Nicki Minaj? Okay, so this card dropped out. Okay, so Saul XO, how does he feel about Nicki Minaj? Okay, so the Three of Cups is here. He does find it to be difficult to work with Nicki Minaj. So he does feel like it's going to be difficult for them to work together. He does think that she is successful and that, you know, she is talented. The Four of Wands just talks about talent. But he does feel like it's going to be difficult. The Three of Cups, that in reverse, that talks about working alone, okay? Having a hard time. We also have the Ace of Cups. In reverse, that talks about repressed emotions. So he doesn't feel like he's going to be able to be truthful with her. The Knight of Pentacles, he's about his money, okay? This talks about somebody that is also obsessed with wealth and finances. So he's not here to play games, okay? Two of Pentacles has a lot on his plate. He has other acts. So he's not going to be trying to play games with her. And then we also have the Seven of Cups that talks about opportunities. So he does feel like she would be lucrative, but he feels like it could be challenging, okay? So he knows it's not going to be easy working with Nicki. Let's see. How does Nicki Minaj feel about Kalani? Because if you guys remember, Kalani deleted her reply to work with Nicki Minaj. So let's see, how does Nicki Minaj feel about Kalani, R&B singer? She does got music coming out too. So let's see, how does Nicki Minaj feel about Kalani? So she does feel like Kalani is talented, would be a good idea for them to collaborate. The Four of Pentacles, that talks about a good investment. We also have the King of Cups that talks about passion. We have the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. That talks about work-home conflict. So she does feel like people were in her ear. Okay, not even just the fans. People were in her ear, which made her delete her response, okay? And then the Ace of Wands in reverse, that talks about a lack of growth or potential. So Nicki kind of feels like, you know what, if we don't collaborate, it is what it is. But she does think that Kalani is talented and would have loved for her to work with her, basically. So hopefully it happens. It looks like, Kalani also let people behind the scenes get in her ear, not just the fans. Because she got new music releasing, so she just probably didn't want to piss off the Cardi B stans, who also support, Kalani. So that's probably why she deleted it too. Let's see. What else questions do I have? Will we get the documentary by the end of the year? Nicki Minaj's documentary. Will we get the documentary by the end of the year? Nicki Minaj's documentary. Will we get the documentary by the end of the year? She's gonna need help putting the documentary out. I'm gonna be honest with you, Nicki needs a complete team. She needs a manager, she needs PR. She needs a complete team. She needs a marketing team. The Knight of Wands is here. This talks about it would be very successful if she puts it out. The documentary would be successful. The Six of Wands, this talks about private achievement. We also have the King of Pentacles that talks about wealth. This talks about business. There is somebody pulling strings behind the scenes though, trying to hold up things for Nicki Minaj. And that's why she needs a complete team, okay? Because you can't do everything by yourself. Yeah, so there is someone trying to kind of hold up things for Nicki Minaj. She has to kind of be careful with that. So it looks like she's gonna need a team for the docu-series to get pushed out, okay? She can't do everything by herself. And she's also going to need a publicist to get rid of the bad press, okay? So she's gonna have to work on that. Let's see what else. What else do I have? Will Nicki Minaj be going on tour next year? Because she keeps talking about a tour. Will Nicki Minaj actually go on tour next year? Because people have already started selling tickets for tours next year. So she probably won't go on tour to 2023. Because that takes months and months for people to plan. Will Nicki Minaj go on tour next year? Nicki Minaj. It does seem like it is possible though. The Eight of Wands, that talks about potential, that talks about growth. We have the Queen of Pentacles, that talks about financially being independent, working. The World card, that talks about life cycle. So it does seem like she could go on tour probably later on in the year. Obviously not the beginning, because you got to sell tickets. But she would have to sell tickets the top of the year, okay? So it does look like, you know, she is really planning on tour, okay? For whatever reason, planning the tour without the album. But, you know, the album obviously will come. What else? Let's see. How does Iron feel about the negative press that Nicki Minaj has recently been getting? Nicki Minaj and Irvin. How does he feel about the negative press that she's recently been getting? Okay. So he does have love for her. The Five of Wands in reverse, that talks about inner conflict. But he's also pulling strings behind the scenes, okay? Even though he has love for Nicki Minaj, you guys got to remember in 2018, you know, when she dissed Travis Scott, you know, he went and told publications to post you know, mean things about Nicki Minaj. So he is pulling strings behind the scenes, okay? The Five of Wands, though, talks about he does have a little bit of a soft spot for Nicki. That talks about having inner conflict. Five of Pentacles feels like he lost out on a lot of money with Nicki Minaj. So the Five of Pentacles, he feels like, you know, the negative press caused Nicki to lose out on money. Nine of Swords doesn't really feel like she's happy. The Nine of Swords, that talks about sadness. The Judgment card talks about avoidance, ignoring the call. So he kind of feels like she's ignoring the fact that, you know, she's losing out on opportunities. The Queen of Cups is here in reverse. This is the codependency energy. He feels like she's very codependent. Strength card feels like she lacks wisdom, okay? So ultimately, he kind of feels like, you know, she's losing out on opportunities, that she lacks wisdom, okay? Let's see, what else? What else? Let's see. Will Nicki Minaj ever get a publicist? Nicki Minaj. Will she ever get a publicist for herself? Nicki Minaj. Because she definitely needs one. Will Nicki Minaj ever get a publicist? There's people reaching out to her. The Seven of Wands, that talks about public recognition, success. So there are people reaching out to her, trying to help her. So there are publicists reaching out to her. The King of Pentacles, that talks about, again, seeing somebody as successful, wanting to help them. The King of Cups, that talks about people pulling strings behind the scenes, manipulation. Okay, that's what it stands for in reverse. The High Priestess, that talks about a disconnection. And then we also have the Four of Pentacles in reverse, that talks about bad investment. So it seems like she's hesitant on getting a publicist for whatever reason. She doesn't want to feel controlled, okay? So she's very hesitant on getting a publicist, but she needs one. And publicists have been reaching out to her. Okay, so it looks like she has that opportunity, but she just don't want to take it, okay? What would be the outcome for Nicki Minaj and Kenneth Petty? Nicki Minaj and Kenneth Petty, what's going to be the outcome for Nicki Minaj and Kenneth Petty? Nicki Minaj and Kenneth Petty, what's going to be the outcome for Nicki Minaj and Kenneth Petty? So we have the Hermit card here. This talks about withdrawal. So eventually, once Kenny kind of gets what he wants, he's going to start moving different. Once he gets what he wants from Nicki Minaj, and what he wants is his freedom. He wants to, get these charges, taken care of. He wants the, the SO list thing to be taken care of. He wants this lawsuit thing to be taken care of. Once that happens, we're going to see a different side. The Seven of Pentacles in reverse, it talks about short-term reward, okay? So it's not going to be beneficial for her to keep him around. The Queen of Pentacles is here in reverse. That talks about work-home conflict. He's always going to conflict with her work. And then we have the Ace of Wands that talks about lack of potential and growth. So it's always kind of going to conflict with her work. And also, he's not being the real him, okay? He's selling her a dream, okay? The Four of Swords, that talks about contemplation. She has contemplated on leaving him. But she doesn't want to feel embarrassed. She knows people are going to clown her. Oh, you can't keep a man. Oh, you're older. You know how people always talk about her age. So she's really concerned about that. Let's see, what else? What are the other questions that I might have? I'm trying to think of any. Let's see. I know I had one more question. I can't remember what it was though. Let's try to think. What was the question? Oh, okay. Why doesn't she have family members watch Papa Bear? I just want to know that question, and then I'm done, because I just was so curious about that, because maybe she don't trust him, we don't know. But let's see, why doesn't she have family members watch Papa Bear? I just want to know that really quickly. Because she says she don't have a nanny. So why doesn't she have family members watch Papa Bear? Like if you ever watch the Kardashians, like Courtney will watch North and Saint when Kim is away, if she doesn't have a nanny. Most of the time, most of them have nannies though. But let's just see. Why doesn't Nicki Minaj have her family members watch Papa Bear? I just was curious about that because she mentioned that she don't got no nannies. Okay, so we have the King of Swords that talks about truth, father figure. So it almost like maybe what I'm picking up on is like some of her family members are not really, they don't really care for Kenny. The Empress card that talks about her wanting to be like nurturing around her child all the time. But it's also like, you know, they don't really trust Kenny. They don't really want to be around him. So they feel like, you know, she feels like, well, if you want to be around my child, you got to accept who I had the child with. That's basically what it is. The Ace of Pentacles in reverse, that talks about lack of potential and growth. She's not really close with a lot of her family members, okay? She's really not close with a lot of her family members. Only really her immediate family, but even them, they don't really care for Kenny like that. Why didn't Nicki Minaj go to the Met Gala? That's it then. After that, I'm done. Why didn't Nicki Minaj go to the Met Gala? Nicki Minaj, why didn't she go to the Met Gala? What's the real reason why she didn't go to the Met? We have the 10 of Cups in reverse. That talks about a struggling relationship. So it does have something to do with Kenny. She is very much focused on him. The 3 of Cups, she is working. She is doing collaborations. But there is energy around her focusing on Kenny. Her focusing on this case. Sun card, she wants to be around positive environment. She doesn't feel like it was going to be positive for her. You know, they're going to ask certain questions. Magician card in reverse, that talks about manipulation. So she feels like, you know, people were going to pull some stunts if she had went. The Knight of Swords in reverse, that talks about feeling burnt out, okay? So she kind of feels burnt out by the industry in a sense, okay? If you like this reading, like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you turn on post notifications and have an amazing day.